welcome to the Hunt Fish Travel podcast, the first and longest running female hosted hunting podcast. When she's not arguing with boss hens or convincing gobblers that her box call is the sexiest, she's helping you navigate your trip of a lifetime. And now, here's your hostess, Carrie Zilka.
Welcome to the Hunt Fish Travel podcast. I am your hostess, Carrie Zilka. I'm excited because on the line we have Tom Steber, the director and founder of the Alabama Gulf Coast Slam. I was recently down in the Gulf Shores, and their Visitors Bureau was wonderful and introduced me to him. So, Tom, welcome to the show.
Welcome to you.
Why don't you explain to the listeners what we're going to be talking about? Tell them what the Alabama Gulf Coast Slam actually is.
Well, Alabama Gulf Coast Slam is a fishing tournament that is somewhat modeled after the Destin October Rodeo that Destin's been doing for 70 years, and it generates about $7 million to the city of Destin. And the Orange Beach Gulf Shores that we put together, it was called the Red Snapper World Championship back in 2004. And until the federal government got into snapper fishery, it was a immediate success to our area, and it generated millions of dollars to the economy in Orange Beach and Gulf Shores. So when the Alabama Charter Fishing Association wanted to mirror the October Rodeo from Destin, working with the tourism department, we decided that we didn't want to do it in October. We wanted to do it in the spring, which it has a whole lot more potential to be successful and grow our shoulder season than it is to do it in October when you're competing with hunting and fishing and football, etc. You know, when you come out of the winter and you go into the spring, you want to get outside, you want to get out of the house, and fishing is a great opportunity for America's public to get to nature and have the ability to fish. So this tournament was solely started to try to help the shoulder season and get customers to come to Orange Beach Gulf Shores and just see a little bit about what we have to offer in fishing.
Well, let me ask you. So the dates, I mean, most tournaments aren't they normally just like a couple of days or even a week? Why make it a whole month?
Well, it's because we want to give time for the customers to have the opportunity to come. This tournament is different from most tournaments, because most tournaments you pay a fee, whether it's $25, $50, $100, $2,000, and you fish for a weekend. This tournament it's a boat tournament, but the customers and the anglers are the winners, not the boat owner. You know, for instance, it has two separate divisions. It has a private angler division and it has a charter boat division. On the private angler side, you enter your boat. If it's up to 25 foot 11 inches, it costs you $150 to fish for 30 days roughly. And if the boat is 26 foot or bigger, it costs you $250. Then it's $25 if you fishing off the beach or off the rocks or off the wharf, and $50 for kayak, paddleboard, etc. So and in that case, let's just say you have a 25-foot Kenner, and you have four friends that go with you. As long as you have an Alabama fishing license, it costs you nothing to fish, but you're the one, if you catch the fish, you win the prize. And then on the charter boat side is very similar. There's really four ways. If you're a guide boat, which is a inshore type fishing boat, it costs $150. For a 6-passenger boat, it's $250. For a multi-passenger boat, which is 8 to 25, it costs you $350. And for a head boat, party boat, it costs $450. And what that does is that gives that charter boat customer, anybody that fishes on their boat are eligible. They're actually covered with the fishing license because they're fishing on that commercial party boat or commercial boat. So when the angler comes down here from, say, Kentucky, and his family, they're all covered. They pay to fish on the boat. It costs them nothing to fish in the tournament.
That's interesting. Interesting. And I'm just like, when you look through the rules and stuff, the prizes, etc. Well, let's get right into the categories and prizes, because of course that's what everybody's interested in. You know, so you have it, and this website. Can I just tell you how user friendly this website is? This website is very user friendly, because as one who's never participated in any kind of a fishing tournament, it can be kind of daunting. There's a ton of regulations, there's rules, there's time slots, etc. And this website really breaks it down in layman's terms, it's really a great website. So whoever did it, kudos to them.
Well, thank you. We're pretty proud of it. I think it answers questions. And you did mention about the prizes. The prizes are actually gift certificates from our two local main tackle and clothing stores, J&M Tackle and Sam's Stop and Shop. And basically there's 17 fish in the categories. And the reason we call it a slam is because there's 4 inshore fish. You got slot redfish, speckled trout, white trout, and sheephead. And then you have nearshore fish with bonita, king mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and I forgot the other one, Jack Caval. And then bottom fish, the 4 bottom fish are white snapper, vermilion snapper, black snapper, and triggerfish. And then blue water fish are tuna, wahoo, dolphin, and swordfish. And then we're doing shark Saturdays, bull shark Saturdays, because the public loves to watch sharks being hung up. And the state and the federal government, opposite from most other fish, want us to kill bull sharks. They're a problem. There's way too many of them. They're not just a threat to humans, but they eat everything out there. So they're tickled to death that we put this in the tournament. And then again, there's 2 categories. You've got the recreational side and you got the charter side. And there's separate prizes, 500, 250, and 125 for every fish all the way down in every category. And then there's $100 a week prize for each fish. So there's a lot of prizes. And then the big prize is if anybody catches a minimum size fish, for example, a speckled trout. If you catch a 4-pound speckled trout or bigger, your name goes into a hat, and at the end of the tournament, somebody's going to win a brand new Chevrolet pickup truck.
Wow. That's awesome. Explain to me the difference. What's the difference between inshore and nearshore, technically?
Well, the inshore is basically you're either fishing right along the beach or you're fishing in all the backwaters, because Alabama has just an enormous backwater. Nearshore is like basically 100 yards out, and you're trolling. Usually you're trolling or you're drift fishing, but you're in Alabama state waters and you're near the shore.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. And why are bull sharks such a problem down by you?
There's just so many of them, and they're not just here; they're all over. There's so many of them, and they just devour fish. I mean, there's a lot of times when you go out and let's just say you're snapper fishing, and you've been fighting a snapper for 20 minutes. Next thing you know, it quits pulling, and all you pull up is his head, because the shark's eating it off. Or it could be it can be as much as a 200-pound. You can be out blue water fishing and have a 200-pound tuna on, and next thing you know, it quits fighting, and you come up and you got the head of a tuna because he's eating the bottom of it off. It's just they're very plentiful here, and they eat. They're not as a threat to people like everybody thinks they are, unless you're out there swimming in bait. But they do eat a lot of fish. I mean, they consume a lot of fish.
When I was down there last week, I went to the Gulf State Park Pier in where is that? That's in what is that? Hold on,
it's right there on the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach.
Yeah. And it was wonderful, where you could rent the the fishing poles and stuff, which was really interesting. I don't know what I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to put some of this shrimp on here and throw it out there and hope I catch something. But I did see that they allowed, forgive me, I forget if it's once a week or once a month, the shark fishing at night. And is that what they're targeting during that shark fishing time frame?
Pretty much. Because
Okay.
that's probably 70% of the sharks that we catch here. And it's bull sharks, and as a rule, you catch him out on the pier, you're not going to get him on the dock. You're gonna have to go to the beach to try to land it or cut the line.
Really?
But yes, and pier fishing and fishing at State Park Pier is part of this tournament. So there'll be a lot of people fishing in the tournament from the pier.
Oh, wow. And there's, I'm assuming, since you allow shark fishing, that it's like 24 hours a day, that it's not just 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. that are the fishing hours, correct?
No, the weigh stations are open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then if you catch it after that, you can weigh it in the next day.
Gotcha. Wow, this is absolutely fascinating. And what a clever way to get people involved. So I could come as a vacationer from a girl from Wisconsin, and I could come down there and catch whatever, fish it is, say a white trout. And if I catch the heaviest white trout that's recorded in those 30 days, even though I live in Wisconsin, I could technically win that first place prize.
No doubt. That's what it's all about. Yes. You'd win a $500 gift card from one of the 2 tackle stores or
Wow.
clothing stores, and they've got everything in there you want. You can count on that.
All right, HuntFishTravel listeners, who wants to go with me next year down to Alabama? Because this is absolutely fascinating, and what a great way to boost tourism and to just get people down there. What a fascinating way to get this done.
But we hope it works. I know it'll work because this type of tournaments worked before. It's just, there's quite a bit of work goes into it, but it's a fun event, and it is to get people to come down here and have a good time.
What do you think is the top question that people have been asking you about this tournament?
The biggest question I had, of course, pretty clear, is where can I weigh it in? But I also had a gentleman call me from Kentucky Monday that asked the question. Well, I got online and I've called 2 of the boats that were listed that are in the tournament, and they were booked when I was going to be down there. And I explained to him. I said, well, here's part of the problem is because of course we've got people that always wait to the last minute, and Monday of this past week we had 22 boats in it. Today we've got 50 charter boats in it, and by the time it starts, we'll have about 80 charter boats in it. So, when he comes down here, he asked me, well, what if the boat's not in it? Can I pay the fee? I said, sure you can. I said, but I'd embarrass the captain. I want you to pay it. He said, and then he said, we were going to fish on the rocks sometimes, and I said, it's $25 the whole time you're down here. You can fish on the rocks.
Wow.
So he was very happy.
Are these participating boats, are they giving any kind of a discount for folks that are participating in the tournament?
No, I don't think they're giving discounts. They're just, you're fishing in the tournament and it costs you nothing.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, well, that is fascinating. So, I'm just tooling around your website here again. You really do have all the information up here, AlabamaGulfCoastSlam.com. Really all the information about participating, prizes, weigh-in stations, how to register, sponsors, lodging and dining, everything is right here at the touch of your fingers. Do you guys have a Facebook page?
We do not have a Facebook page. I'm not a fake Facebook person. Next year, I'm sure we will. We'll hire somebody. I actually have a Facebook account, but I've never been on it.
I'm sure you'll still get tagged out there. Well, they could just always go to the Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism Facebook page to find more information on Facebook as well.
And they are promoting it heavily. So.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, what else do you want the listeners to know? What do you think? What else didn't we cover that you want them to make sure that they know?
We just want them to have a good time and come down and be with us.
Awesome.
We love having people come visit us.
I noticed. You guys were so hospitable. Well, cool, Tom. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show and explain to us about this really, really smart and clever idea. Like you said, with the off season, you don't have I can't imagine that trying to find a charter boat in August during a high season is real easy. And this
during this, from June the 1st through the middle of August, the boats are really busy.
Yeah.
But this time of year they're not busy, and they,
right.
It's perfect. I mean, it's perfect to help them. It's perfect for customers. It's not quite as hot yet. You do have to worry sometimes about the wind and the seas, but if it's blowing, you can always fish in the backwater and don't have to worry about it then.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Because I was going to go fishing, but then the seas were too rough the day that I was going to go. So as long as you've paid that entry fee, you could still.
Yeah, you don't want to. You really don't want to take a bunch of kids and out in 3 or 4 foot seas when the boat's rocking like crazy, and they more than likely will get seasick, and then may never want to fish again. Because fishing is a blast, and if you have a real bad experience with getting seasick, it makes you think, well, maybe I don't need to do this again. That doesn't happen that often, but it could.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely agreed. All right, so if anybody's going to be in the Alabama Gulf Shores area, be sure to check out alabamagulfcoastslam.com for all the information, and hopefully we'll see lots of photos out there of people participating in the tournament.
Well, thank you very much for spending the time today.
And that'll do it. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. You can find me on Twitter, Carrie Zylka, CarrieZylka. You can find me on Facebook. You can send me a friend request. You can follow the HuntFishTravel page on Facebook as well. Just search HuntFishTravel. I'm pretty much everywhere. Any social media. So go find me. Say hi. And if you found value in this episode, head over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and leave me a 5-star review and a comment, if you would. Alternatively, if you'd like to support the show, you can check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/HuntFishTravel, all one word. Donate $1, you can buy me a cup of coffee. And thank you for your support.